The effort to glaze Joe Biden and defame Donald Trump go down as one of the greatest psyops in American history. This is one of the best videos I've ever created, documenting the disgusting and monstrous lengths that the mainstream media went through to try to prop up Joe Biden, while at the same time trying to destroy Donald Trump.
Dr. Jonathan Reiner, who served as the late Vice President Dick Cheney's cardiologist for years, was among the many observers alarmed by what he saw from President Trump last night, his behavior. He posted on X, quote, "I'm seriously concerned about the health of the president," and adding, "No one should be happy to see the president like this. He looks unwell." Dr. Reiner, what specifically was it about President Trump that you found so concerning watching him last night, especially in the context of, he gives outrageous speeches and has been for years?
It wasn't the content. I thought the content was just standard fare that we've become accustomed to. But it was the way it was delivered. It was delivered in with a manic cadence, almost a frantic cadence.
Let's hear this manic cadence, this frantic cadence. Let's hear it.
We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected. And our country is back, stronger than ever before.
It was as if you felt like you were listening to a podcast on 2X. And that kind of manic delivery was very, very disturbing.
Disturbing. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Very pressurized speech. And as the address went on, the cadence of his remarks became quicker. And we've never seen the president, like that. He seemed almost frantic, and it was disturbing to watch.
Pretty incredible that he could have that opinion, yet have this opinion.
He does seem to struggle to get up when it first happens, then appears to recover. You do see there is a sandbag right there in his path. That's pretty obvious. What's your reaction when you see the whole video?
Well, falls are really common, and they're especially common in the elderly. It's thought that about 1 out of every 4 people over the age of 65 will fall this year. So it's super common. He's fine. The optics are bad. But, he got unlucky and just tripped on the sandbag.
Does anything about this warrant the questions that, of course, we're seeing predictably in some quarters about his fitness for office?
No, not at all. Look, people have sort of this mistaken opinion that the president is like an astronaut and we're spinning them around in centrifuges to prove their fitness. But what we really ask for is mental sharpness and the ability to carry out the duties of his office. And I think the president has shown that.
Not only was Joe in the physical and mental prime of his life during his presidency, Joe Biden was also a good man with a strong moral compass.
The way China will respond is when we gather the rest of the world that in fact engages in open trade and making sure that we're in a position that the world that we deal with WHO the right way. That in fact that's when things begin to change. That's when China's behavior is going to change. And Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce her, Shanga Koala. I think I pronounced it correctly.
We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy second fiddle, way that we can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health.
Sharper than anyone I've spoken to.
The president has no impairment.
He's sharp, he's focused, he's bright.
This is a very sharp president.
I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline.
This version of Biden is the best Biden ever.
There's a part of Biden that feels more Reagan-esque that way. You're like, it's Grandpa, it's Uncle Joe.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Those "oh, that Joe" moments are part of his political charm.
I'm beginning to see why your wife left you.
So much of what is appealing about him to a lot of voters is the fact that he's authentic.
I got hairy legs.
The fact that he doesn't always seem scripted.
The kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down. Your AR-14s are what?
Okay, this is not okay. Hold on, all right? Hey, let's
Don't tell me to leave.
There's a lot of guys.
Biden yesterday showed the other side of his humanity, and that is he's a fighter.
You're full
And some people see that as charming, a candidate who's willing to air it out face to face with a guy.
This is going to be a net plus for Joe Biden.
Ashton Carter, Joe Biden, the vice president, was swearing him in to be defense secretary. He waved his wife over and little hands-on treatment from the vice president.
Everybody knows he's a touchy-feely guy, and he's just very friendly. He is. He was reportedly comforting her after she fell on ice.
It's spreading love.
Coons said Maggie was not uncomfortable at all.
Not only did the press make excuses for and attempt to justify Biden's obviously sick and pathological behavior with children, they hid one of the greatest scandals of modern American politics right around election time, November of 2020. Fact check. Have contents of Ashley Biden's diary been verified? The existence of a diary and the authenticity of purported facsimiles of a diary are two entirely different questions. Claim. A diary authored by U.S. President Joe Biden's daughter, Ashley Biden, described showers taken with her father when she was a child is probably not appropriate. Rating, true. And I quote, hypersexualized at a young age. What does this due to? Was I molested? I think so. I can't remember specifics, but I do remember trauma. I remember not liking the Wolzak's house. I remember somewhat being sexualized with Caroline. I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showers with my dad, probably not appropriate. Being turned on when I wasn't supposed to be. And instead of there being a scandal about Joe Biden taking inappropriate showers with his daughter, that when it was exposed, Joe Biden sent the FBI to raid journalists' houses, that a vindictive Joe Biden even had the poor woman who found the diary persecuted by his Justice Department. The media worked their magic and manipulated the American public into thinking this was the scandal. Two civic-minded citizens
From Florida have pleaded guilty to stealing and selling the private diary of President Biden's daughter, Ashley. Biden's daughter was moving from a friend's home in 2020, and she left behind some personal items, including her diary. They were found by a woman who, along with a friend, sold them to the conservative activist group Project Veritas.
The New York Times reporting the FBI Saturday searched the home of James O'Keefe.
Its founder was pulled from his apartment in his underwear and handcuffed during a dawn raid last month by the FBI, 2 days after a pair of his former employees had their homes raided as well.
You're watching pre-dawn raids by the FBI on 3 Project Veritas journalists. They took place on November 4th and November 6th of 2021.
I'm sorry, so what is this regarding? This is the search warrant. Open up. Let me see your hands, man. Let me see your hands! My hands, sir.
No, what I'm trying to say here is losing your right to. Just once again, for our safety and for yours, we're going to have to sit with you.
Yeah.
In the years since this story broke, I have never seen, in print or digital, any mention of the actual contents in that diary. Not one word. There's nothing worse than a member of the mainstream media. You cannot hate the mainstream media enough.
Put you all back in chains.
He's making an historic reference he may not have been right to do, but it certainly wasn't malignant.
I'm not even sure it had anything to do with race.
Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone.
Still, he is a master of the quick recovery.
Make sure the kids hear words.
These qualities are almost endearing to voters.
We choose truth over facts.
They find him more believable because he makes missteps every so often.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
These gaffes are also a part of who he is as a politician.
By far the worst administration in American history. 20 scandals or more that the media never covered. Scandal, Ashley Biden diary scandal. Second scandal, Joe Biden sent the FBI after honest journalists. Third scandal, Biden colluded with all the media to suppress the knowledge of these scandals I mentioned here. Fourth scandal, leaving new equipment worth tens of millions of dollars for the Taliban. Fifth scandal, Biden left an American named Gonzalo Lira to languish and die in a Ukrainian jail cell. What was Lira's crime? Speaking out against the Biden and Zelensky regimes. He knew they were going to kill him. He told us so in videos. He made videos talking about the Ukrainians wanting him dead. He got locked up. 2 months later, he was dead. Biden helped shut down the peace deal early in the Ukrainian-Russian war in around May of 2022. The Me Too organization refused to hear Tara Reade out because it was Joe Biden that she was accusing. Eighth scandal, Joe allowed in 11 to 15 million illegal aliens with zero background checks. Biden hid classified files in unseemly and ridiculous places. Biden left thousands of Americans in Afghanistan. 11th scandal, going after Project Veritas and James O'Keefe. Hunter Biden laptop. Media collusion to keep it silent. Under Biden, overdose rates increased exponentially. Biden was accused of illegal bribes while he was vice president. Lied about son Bo dying in Iraq. Lied about going to a funeral of a cop supposedly killed on January 6th, even though no police officers died from January 6th. Lied about uncle being eaten by cannibals. Lied about law school. Lied about academic achievements. Lied about everything. Biden blew $42 billion on a broadband boondoggle that was obsolete the minute it was built. Biden ignored warnings that Gaza Pier boondoggle would be a horrible disaster, and it was, and it washed away within weeks. After promising he wouldn't pardon his son Hunter, he did. Secret Service says it disposed of cocaine found at White House after a report of infighting. Joe Biden's pardons may be illegitimate.
It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies. You're fascinating to talk to.
You talked about using some of Trump's money that you're about to get to help shore up women's rights. Do you know what that might be, what that might look like?
Yes, Rachel. Yes.
Tell me.
I had such great ideas for all the good I'm going to do with this money. First thing, Rachel, you and I are going to go shopping. We're going to get completely new wardrobes, new shoes, motorcycle for Crowley, new fishing rod for Robbie. Rachel, what do you want? Penthouse? It's yours,
Nothing.
Rachel.
And these partisan sycophant hacks went on to cement their lie that Donald Trump assaulted Jean Carroll in the American consciousness.
And you've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. Asking you a question about why you endorse someone who's been found liable for rape. Why are you supporting someone who's been found liable for rape?
I've created video after video trying to dispel this hateful and blatant lie. There are irrefutable facts that make Jean Carroll's accusation preposterous on its head. And in any normal courtroom against any normal defendant, Jean Carroll's lawsuit would have been immediately dismissed with prejudice. Jean Carroll and her 2 witnesses didn't know what year the assault happened. Jean Carroll had an email exchange with one of her witnesses where they said they must scheme to stop Trump. That same witness texted another friend that the assault hadn't really happened. Jean Carroll accused 7 other men of the same crime. But you would never know these facts because the media straight up refuses to accurately report on the story. The way that they report on this is out the same playbook as the way that they report on the Ashley Biden diary scandal. They'll do exhaustive coverage, but they'll never actually address the substance of the story. They basically omit the entire story from the story.